Hitman 2 and Hitman 2016 are, without a doubt, some of my favourite games I've ever played, and with the hype train now moving towards Hitman 3 Eyes, or Hitman 3 from now on, because frankly I think this joke is overdone, we're finally getting an end to the newly dubbed World of Assassination trilogy, which includes the Hitman 2016 game, published by Square Enix, so named because it was released in 2016, the Hitman 2 game, published by Warner Bros, and Hitman 3, published for the first time by IO Interactive. That means speculation on what the third game will include. If you're expecting to find some outlandish theories, such as 47 being killed off and replaced with Subject 6, then this won't be the video for you. It's going to be pretty grounded for the most part. I have tempered expectations. So then, let's play a game of Hitman 3 Bingo, and let's see how reliable my foresight will be, and how many predictions are going to end up being correct. I'll probably will make a follow-up video in 2021, won't I? Yeah, IO Interactive have made it quite clear that they themselves are imposing the always online burden onto their games. To be completely fair, the reason the game has this is to deliver content without constantly downloading it. You get one download per month and the game then activates it when it needs to. Doesn't apply for elusive targets for some reason, but hey, I'm not IO Interactive. Something I would like to see is the offline mode and online mode just save sync. There's no reason to distinguish between the two anymore, and we know that it's an arbitrary barrier. Challenges should be completable offline, or at the very least ones that don't reward you with an item. If I lose connection for whatever reason, I want to complete the run and feel like what I was doing was worth my time, because at the moment nothing offline syncs to the online mode for no reason aside from arbitrary restrictions. Though considering mods like the Hitman weapon randomizer let you have any weapon you want, although be it random, leaderboard abuse is always going to happen. You have fought this off decently well, IOI, but the unlocking stuff online part just doesn't make much sense to do anymore. It's restrictive to those who go offline, and it's annoying to always be constantly connected to your servers. Games should not need to be fully completable if they rely on a server. It's no secret offline mode sucks in both 2016 and 2. There were zero changes to offline mode between the two games, so while the idea I've already posited in this video should be a thing, I'm not holding my breath. IO Interactive definitely want control, and so they shall have that. No offline escalations, no offline to online save sync, no offline challenge completion. Oh, and they still haven't given a solid answer as to what happens when the servers go down, which apparently is a loaded question, quotation marks. But I don't have time nor the patience to mock that particular excuse right now. We've already had a Paris level in 2016, but we've also had 4 USA entries, so I'll let you come to your own conclusions of familiarity. The trailer for Hitman 3 so far doesn't reference anything French near as I know. None of the partners are French, but you know, it'd be nice to have. 47 eating a croissant is probably something I've never wanted to see, but now I want to, and now I've got that image in your head, now everyone wants to see it. A lot of the problems revolving around elusive targets is that, rather ironically, they're too elusive. 4 days is too few, a whole week isn't much better, hell, even a month isn't that good. My prediction is that IO Interactive will do the same amount of elusive targets that were in Hitman 2, that's about 8 or 9 of them if I recall correctly, but will make them last for 2 or 3 update cycles, basically meaning as soon as one has finished, the next one will take its place the following day or whenever the game updates. Another thing I'd like IOI to do is that as soon as the first run is over, just make the targets a permanent addition and give anyone who did the first run a commemorative coin, like you did in 2016. That would solve the issue of elusive targets not being permanent. It would reward those with a pointless but nice looking coin reskin, and wouldn't leave new players out in the cold a year on. Repeating the cycle a year later only leads to more frustration down the line, as the game will always get newer players until the new release comes along, and Hitman 3 is supposed to be the end of the trilogy, and not necessarily the end of the Hitman franchise, but that kind of implies that there's not going to be a Hitman game for a while. You kind of need to do something about it. Goes without saying really, though we're at the point where I'm not sure what IOI could actually add to 47's already large arsenal. I mean, we have trip mines, mini gadgets, trick phones, trick rubber ducks, more guns than we ever need, and frankly at this point the only thing missing is dual wielding and gun customization, really. The Kimbo weapons were removed starting from 2016 it seems because, well, while it was fun to do in Blood Money, it was hardly the stealthiest thing in the world. Still though, we have loud weapons to unlock, so I'm not against the option for it. As a gun customization, yeah, that's a bit of a reach. I think the whole unlock system made for the trilogy would be rendered a bit pointless. Still though, not impossible features to implement, so I'd be surprised if this did get added. I'll stick to the dual wielding prediction though. A sort of running gag is that the Hitman series likes changing the face of 47 in each installment for some reason. Between Codename 47 and Blood Money, this made sense. Graphics weren't great, the faces looked like cardboard, and Glacier, while still powerful back in 2005, was not a graphical powerhouse, let's be honest. But Absolution, 2016, 2 and 3 are all on the same, surprisingly well optimized and graphically fantastic engine, so this isn't a limitation. Between Absolution and 2016, he went from looking like an angry thug who has beef with everyone, to an odd-looking clone who bears an absolutely uncanny resemblance to Seth Everman. In Hitman 2, he basically looks like an updated Blood Money face. He also looks more angry than usual. While in 3, well, so far I cannot discern a difference from the trailers, though my guess will be that they've just changed his face a little bit to be a bit more subtle, turning 47 from updated angry Blood Money to angrier Blood Money. Who knows? The recent teaser shown off at Not E3 Online shows off a few locales, one of them looking like it comes from Asia, most likely China or Japan. We've been to Japan before in 2016, Hokkaido's Gamma facility, but we never explored the city. From what we've seen, it's very possible this is from a cutscene, but maybe it's not, it's hard to tell. A China-inspired maps also means they can finally use a bunch of those Kane and Lynch assets that they have lying about the place, as well as the return of Chinese Diva. Look it up. Now, I may as well cross this off the bingo card now, because Hitman 2's finale was actually revealed back in 2017, so I'd expect something else from that comic book series to come up again. Maybe Savvy returns, maybe not, maybe more Diana flashbacks from when she was a badass leader of a mercenary group. Yes, that's canon, look it up. Either way, Hitman 2 and 3 have been story focused in the cutscenes, and they do make allusions to Birth of the Hitman, so I can't not see that continuing. Yeah, I don't see IOI not making Hitman 3 without one. Keeps up player engagement, acts as a pre-order, and just generally makes them money. After the, let's be frank here, underutilized expansion pass in Hitman 2, I get the feeling it'll be used much more here. Hopefully, we'll get something each month instead of waiting until July to get the first location. I am against making the Hitman 3 ending specific to this expansion pass, because frankly no one wants that. They should be more like the bonus episodes, close to the story of the game but disconnected, and hopefully those special assignments from Hitman 2 don't ever become a basis for the location content. In fact, I don't even want to see them in Hitman 3. They were terrible, and I've already explained why I dislike them in the video in the top right. Just watch it. This is another one I could preemptively cross off the bingo card because, well, IOI have actually implied this, claiming they're looking into it. Honestly, the final patch to allow cross-saving with Hitman 2 and 3 will likely be when it gets nerfed in both Hitman 2 and Hitman 3. Maybe not. Maybe they'll do it next month. Either way, the Electrocution Phone won't be the same as in H2, where it was basically a free kill phone that trivialized the entire game by making other methods harder by default. It wasn't fun to use casually, and while the speedrunning community do use it for obvious reasons, it's fast to kill people, it's not like they like using it either. This phone counted as an accident kill, and I hope it changes from that status in Hitman 3. Probably a wild card guess, but we haven't been to South America yet in this trilogy. I have no basis for this guess aside from it might be cool. I don't even have much of a reason either. When H2 launched in 2018, the game came with Mark II weapons, which for the most part were statistically identical to the guns in the Hitman Legacy Pack. The only difference is that the developers slapped a small pink and red 2 sticker on the side of the gun/rubber duck and called it a day. I'm not against Mark III items existing. I understand not everyone will have legacy content from H2 or 2016, but hopefully this time you just make weapon skins or something along that nature instead of adding a pink sticker which is barely noticeable. Hey, we know the gold baller exists in the game's files. Maybe just do gold coloured weapons? Or, tactical looking ones? Not a pink sticker, is where I'm getting at. This has some logic. England is a recurring country that keeps being name dropped in both 2016 and 2's cutscenes and gameplay, more specifically London. I'd wager the old manor from the not E3 trailer appears to be from somewhere in the British countryside. Maybe London is wrong, but England I can definitely see happening. A common request in contracts mode is to let you have side objectives, such as picking up a specific can or blending in for 10 seconds, hacking a specific laptop. You get the idea. I would love for this to become a reality, as we already have a featured contract that just asks you to fetch Dino Bosco's keys in the icon from his trailer and get out, which was made with hacks or glitches. I don't know. That was a bit of a weird one. The point is, IOI isn't adverse to adding these, and it wasn't made with official tools, so that's an interesting relationship. This would turn contracts mode into sort of a create your own escalation kit, but with one level. I'm all for adding more to the arsenal of players to get truly creative and make a good story narrative to fit those objectives. Killing someone in Miami because they poisoned someone else would be a whole lot better if you had to hack a laptop first, then kill them, I think. Or maybe it's more convoluted, who knows. I mean, this is inevitable. Hitman relies on its Narm charm to some degree, and the more goofy suits the better, I say. Hey, maybe we get the Pumpkinhead suit from the Mills Reverie. This is an annoyingly common location. We visited Colorado, Miami, Vermont, and New York. The most out of any location put together, and all but New York have 2 missions each. We'll probably have yet another US locale, but since we've done the whole Blood Money homage in Another Life, not sure where we're going to go next. Mississippi? My personal guess would be Chicago. Again, no reasons for this, it's just that it's a well-known US city and they make nice pizza. This is technically a legacy pack issue, but I'm putting it here because I may as well quickly mention it. In the run-up to Hitman 2, I remember the developers talking about how players were going to get new starting locations for Patient Zero and the bonus missions, and I'm not the only person who remembers this. Cotty, the speedrunner, also remembers the devs not necessarily making this a promised feature, but certainly something that they try and do. For those who haven't played them, the bonus missions only have one starting location, and only one agency pickup location, and it kills some of the replay value on them. Honestly, this seems a bit of a weird thing to not go back and add, but hopefully they'll be able to add them this time around in Hitman's 3 Legacy Pack things. So, that makes up my wild speculations for Hitman 3. If I were to guess at my future success rate, I'd say about 10 out of 16 spaces. Hopefully everything on this list gets addressed in some form, obviously location guesses notwithstanding, those are a bit more random. I know this is not the sort of video I create, but hey, even I like to speculate sometimes, and considering I'm stuck at my desk waiting for the world to not engulf itself into flames, what better thing to do than speculate on upcoming content and changes that fuel the hype train. I've been Dribblonzo, yes that is how you say my name, and I'll see you later. Hopefully when the world is a little bit more stable.